The second officer yells, "We're gonna hit!" Collision.
Fuck! Hello everybody, welcome back to the reaction video of Hakuru 15, and today we are going to be reacting to the internet historian himself on his main channel, of course. He has just released a 46-minute video of the cost of Concordia. So this is going to be pretty damn exciting. So without further ado, let us see what is the actual cost of Concordia.
The Costa Concordia. Ship of dreams.
Yep.
It's been 8 years.
Oh really?
I can still smell the buffets from their 5 restaurants.
That looks delicious.
The casino and 3-story theater had hardly been used. Ah, the gym, the day spa, the sheets in her 1,500 luxurious cabins haven't even been slept in.
Really?
Costa Concordia cost $570 million.
Damn.
And you could tell. You could really tell.
That's a lot of money.
I remember it like it was just a few years ago.
Really?
We had left Civitavecchia, a port in Rome, and we were making our way to Savona. It was day 2 of our 7-day journey.
Oh.
But that ship, she was cursed.
Oh, okay.
When she premiered, the traditional bottle of champagne bounced right off the side instead of smashing.
What?
But I'm not the superstitious type.
If the bottle fails,
Nothing
it's
could
considered
go
bad
wrong
luck.
on
Okay.
Friday the 13th of January, 2012.
That's the worst
on the
day!
100th year anniversary of the Titanic. On
Oh.
a ship that's also only safety rated for 2-compartment flooding.
Oh.
Especially not when you have a 5-star max level captain like Francisco Scatino. A man who mysteriously rose from head of security to the position of
Mysteriously?
captain within just a couple of years. He knows exactly what to do in case of an emergency. For example, when he caused this emergency in 2008, when he crashed into a port in Sicily.
Oh.
And in 2010, in Warnemünde, Germany, when he was steering a different ship and came into port too fast and caused
Oh.
I've got a good feeling about this. So let's start. It's a beautiful evening. People are having
Jesus.
fun on the slides. Drinks
Yep.
at the bar.
No, it looks pretty fun.
Antonio Magnotta is playing piano at the restaurant.
Red.
Martin the Magician is setting up for his show. And the ship is setting up for a little detour. It's called a sail-by salute.
Okay.
Basically, you get real close to the shore and honk the horn.
Sweet.
The locals hate it, but the customers love it, and it's a tradition. Scatino, the captain, comes into the dining hall with the lady, Dominica Samorton.
Okay.
Remember this face, because you'll be seeing a lot of it later.
Oh, alright.
Scatino eats his dinner with her, and socializes for a little while. Then he, Dominica, and the maitre d' finish up and excuse themselves. They're heading to the bridge.
Cool.
It's time for that sail-by salute. This time, they're going to get closer than ever.
Oh.
Just 1,500 feet from the island of Giglio. And how are they going to determine this distance? The captain is going to eyeball it. Apparently it's not an uncommon thing to do. Scatino turns to the fella steering, his helmsman, Jacob Ruslibin. First interesting
Very handsome.
tidbit. Costa Crociere has hired Jacob from Indonesia at
Oh.
a rock-bottom price.
Oh.
He's a bit of a newbie to the job. In fact, his profession hitherto, a painter and a cleaner. It's his first time steering a massive ship, and he's very excited.
Wait, is it
At
true?
least we think he is. It's hard to tell because he doesn't speak English or Italian very well at all.
Oh.
Off to a good start. The second in command orders the helmsman to 290. Now, don't be confused by these numbers, they're just the degrees on a compass. At the same time, the captain whips out his cell phone and calls former captain Mario Palombo, who lives on the island. They chat about the safe distance to Giglio's shores. It's all very casual. Anyway, Mario says that the safe distance is between 0.3 and 0.4 miles from shore.
Okay.
The captain is going all in.
What?
This is not his first sail by salute, so he's confident in what he's doing. We're going closer than we've ever been.
No.
The captain's eyeballing it again. New heading of 300, he tells the helmsman. Downstairs, Martin is about to cut his assistant in half.
Oh.
And of course, that means that there's already a lady inside this box.
Cool.
She's waiting for the cue, and then she'll poke her legs out. The captain is giving...
Wait, are these actual real names?
Gently to 310. Increase speed to 16 knots. Going this fast is going to be a fatal error. But before we talk about that, let's talk about another big problem.
Oh no.
Language barrier.
Yeah.
Because at this point, the captain says 325, but the helmsman relays 315. So the first officer intervenes, and he goes, no, 335.
335?
And then the captain clarifies, no, 325. The helmsman confirms 325.
Okay, 325.
Communication has them moving at a much wider angle. However, the captain should and would know this, except for the next problem. Complacency about procedure.
Shit.
The standard procedure of a ship this large is for the third officer to give exact positional coordinates every time the captain gives a new directional order. But they're not doing that. 330, he says. The helmsman relays 330. The ship reaches 16 knots. The captain then turns to the second officer and instructs him to go to the left wing.
Shit.
Here, and they basically exist so you can get a better view over the whole vessel. A few seconds pass. And then, the mood starts to turn.
Fuck.
Scatino notices white foam of waves breaking against the rocks
Fuck.
in the distance. The Costa Concordia, right now, is almost 700 meters closer to the rocks. Without deviation, there is going to be a direct...
Oh, of course, the rocks are underwater, but still!
Oh, shit!
Scatino immediately commands the ship to start turning away. 335. Not enough. The captain shouts, 340. The captain yells, 350. Now, remember how I said that accelerating to 16 knots was a fatal error?
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's made this ship incapable of such a drastic turn. What they've got is understeer. Here's an example.
Fuck.
The front end is not working. You're turning, and you're just going straight. You want to go over here, but you're going to end up over here.
So despite the order of 350, right now the bow is still only pointing at 327. Not nearly enough
No.
It's about to get worse. That language barrier again. In these critical moments where every second counts, the helmsman wrongly relays 340. The captain snaps back, 350 starboard or we end up on the rocks. The third officer goes to assist the helmsman. Now, don't get confused by the orders from here. We're changing over to rudder instructions.
Okay.
The captain yells, starboard 10, starboard 20, and still it's not enough. Hard to starboard. That means as hard as it'll go.
Shit.
At this point, even if they clear these rocks, they need to get the rest of the ship to swing around it. So the captain yells, midship, which centers the rudder. The bow is now less than 150 meters from Skull Rock.
Oh, fuck.
10. But the helmsman only gets to port 5 before another order is given 2 seconds later. Port 20. They might just avoid disaster.
Fuck.
But then, oh no. One more time, the helmsman cocks up at the worst possible moment. The helmsman goes to starboard instead of
Shit.
port, undoing the swing. 8 seconds later, he realizes the error and corrects, but it's too late. He has just turned a probable near miss into a sure hit.
Fuck.
All they can do now is hold on as the bow of the ship narrowly passes by the rocks. Hard to port! The second officer yells, we're gonna hit! Collision.
Fuck. So this is gonna suck. Oh man. Oh boy. I like how there's food in every thing.
Downtown.
Oh boy,
NordVPN.
NordVPN, mate.
It's day 56 of playing Russian roulette.
Oh, yeah.
Seems I never win.
Gonna drink all by yourself?
Yes.
Somebody has to.
I hear you're a man who's good at finding folks.
I'm many things.
I'm looking for this fella. I gots to find him. It's breaking my little heart.
I'll see what I can do. I have contacts in thousands of servers in dozens of countries across the globe. And just like that, she was gone. The only thing she left was a calling card. Sometimes when you follow a case, it follows you back. NordVPN can protect my online data. But who can protect me?
Exactly.
From myself. When they said this job gets easier, it was just another lie. Forensics found his password spread all the way down the block. In a perfect world, we'd all use NordVPN. But I guess this isn't that kind of story. I took the brakes off my car. Man like me never really learned how to stop. Fuck up. I took the steering wheel out too. I let the road take me where I'm supposed to be. That's right, Toots. Your husband's dead. Merry Christmas. Go to NordVPN.com/internet
What
store
is this ad?
for a huge discount on a 2-year plan.
Okay.
Ad? Oh.
Sweet.
The ship hits rocks on the
Yes.
side. A 53-meter gash opens
Oh,
up.
50 meters.
Thousands of tons of water begin pouring in. A loud scraping and bang is heard by all passengers. At the
Shit.
helm is panic. Rumblings in the dining room. Martin awkwardly pauses his act as he's helping his assistant into the box. Meanwhile, the lady inside is trapped and terrified.
Fuck.
There's confusion across the ship. All of the crew off shift come back on duty. All officers run to the bridge. Technical crews run down to the lower decks to assess damage.
Yep.
On connection with the rocks, they lose propulsion and slow to 8.3 knots.
Oh,
And they are now adrift.
fuck.
Close the watertight doors at stern. Enormous volumes of water are pouring in. So much so that within 29 seconds of collision, all 6 engines stop working through flooding.
That sucks.
22 seconds later, a blackout happens.
Oh.
Lights, electrics, the water pumps too. Everything. The captain orders the helmsman hard starboard. This is the final position of the rudder before power to that too is lost. The Costa Concordia, now without power, is drifting starboard, plunged into absolute darkness.
That fucking sucks.
A quick breakdown of the flooding.
Yes.
When the Concordia struck land, it tore open 3 watertight compartments.
Oh.
At first, compartment 5, which filled very rapidly. Then 6 more slowly, 4 shortly after. Then 7, 8, and 3.
Oh.
Modern ships are built to withstand 2 compartment breaches. These
Right.
compartments especially, though, are a problem, because they contain the engines and the electrics.
True.
These main generators give power to the whole ship,
Yes.
from propulsion motors to rudder to hotel functions. Pretty
Yes.
much everything. When they went out, the ship was a functionless, sinking cage.
Fuck.
A few seconds later, the emergency batteries for internal lighting and communications kick on.
Awesome.
When the lights come back on, Martin has vanished. He's
Ah.
ditched the stage, and it caused a huge panic in the theatre as passengers are trying to flee to their cabins and to muster stations. People already in their cabins come out and start putting on life vests.
Okay.
Staff rally and try to calm everyone down. Everything is fine. There's no need for vests. Please return to your cabins. The emergency generator starts. All of the watertight doors close except for door 12.
Oh
which is
no.
jammed. The captain calls Pelon, the chief engineer, as the ship begins to list on the port side. There's water
Shit.
coming in? Yes, there's water. But where? The engine room. But a lot of water? Yes!
Yeah.
There's water, you can't go down. Let's go down the other side. In a moment we'll start the pumps, I'll let you know. In
This
the
is
theater,
intense.
The whole magic box apparatus slides right off the stage and falls into the crowd,
Okay.
further increasing panic. On the bridge, an announcement.
Like he's going back to the magic room.
They are going to lie to prevent a panic. Let's just
Oh.
say we have a blackout. The deputy chief engineer enters the engine control room. He confirms to the bridge that at least compartments 5, 6, and 7 are flooded. Announcements are made.
The captain to inform you that due to an electrical fault, which is currently under control, we're currently in a blackout. Our technicians are working to resolve the situation and will inform you of developments as they occur. Thank you for your attention.
Okay.
Coincidentally, at the same time in the restaurant, they're playing My Heart Will Go On. That's very much not helping the situation.
Nope.
The captain calls the Costa Crisis Unit. Roberto Ferrarini. He tells the crisis unit that they've hit a rock, that they're assessing damages and that they are also in a blackout. The crisis office says to reverse the ship up onto shore. Well, how are you going to do that? You don't have power to
Yeah, there's no power.
The engine. You know, hoist the sails?
That would be awesome.
Around this time, the wind direction creates a starboard list, and the ship begins to turn anyway, drifting right back towards the shore, which is a very good thing because you want the ship to end up as close to shore as possible.
Yeah.
A panicked passenger senses that something is off. This isn't like any electrical problem that she's ever seen. Plus, there was a massive crashing noise. And
Yeah,
now the
it's
ship is
tilting.
So, she contacts her daughter in Italy. The daughter then calls the police, and the police call the harbour master. While that goes on, a conversation between Pilon and Ambrosio. The diesel is not starting. The captain asks the engine room, but where have we made contact? Thinking that the incoming water...
Metal Gear Solid music.
Captain, here everything is lost. The electrical panel, everything.
Shit.
They're saying at this point that the ship is going down.
Fuck.
The captain calls Roberto Ferrarini again. Actually, 2 compartments have been flooded, but don't worry, the ship's stability isn't in danger.
3.
Wrong. Passengers begin going to muster stations on their own initiative. The cruise director says, "We have a lot of people at muster stations that I do not want to fall overboard. Do we make an announcement to tell them to go to the lounges?" Bozio says, "I think that's best."
Yep, that's
the harbour
best.
master from Livorno calls the ship. The captain tells them that we just have a blackout. How long has this blackout been going on? About 20 minutes. Have you asked passengers to put on life vests? It's just a blackout. I gotta go. The harbour master
boy.
is suspicious. He says to his superiors that he thinks something more is going on. He calls a patrol boat to the area and asks them to look at the ship. Another problem. The fan on the emergency diesel generator isn't working properly. Pilon manually has to turn the thing on and off with a screwdriver so that it doesn't overheat and cause a fire. The captain is on the phone to the lower decks, asking pointless questions, like, is it still flooded? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. The captain is essentially in denial of the situation. The harbour master calls again. Finally, he says, "The ship is taking on water through an opening in the left side and the ship is listing."
Yep.
He qualifies with, "No one dead or injured." The harbour master asks if he needs help. "Just a tugboat?" When in reality, he needs a full rescue.
That's a
With
full
3
rescue,
compartments
man.
smoke, the captain finally realizes that things are really bad and they're
Yeah.
not going to improve. The Coast Guard orders every available ship to the sea. Meanwhile, up with the passengers, the cruise director's assistant says, everything's under control. Please return to your cabins or hang
Oh,
around the lounge.
God.
No problem. She said this despite knowing it was wrong and that it further endangered lives. Most passengers at this point, though, aren't listening to this nonsense, and they're busy figuring out how to abandon ship. Bang, 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 bang. Local television has already picked up the story and they begin broadcasting live radio feed from the bridge. Captain, the
Jesus.
passengers are going on board the boats. Okay, let them go to shore. So then general emergency? Wait, let me talk to Ferrarini. We risk the emergency generators that do not have cooling. It has cooling problems. 100 degrees. The cooling fan has stopped. Pilon calls the bridge and tells the safety officer they need to evacuate. The safety officer relays this to the captain, but after no response, he orders the engine room to evacuate.
Yeah, just evacuate.
The captain says, "No, stay."
What?
Leave. So what do? General emergency? The captain tells Ferrarini that he's abandoning ship. Abandon ship! Another announcement is made.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The situation is under control. Please remain calm.
Nope.
But at this time, proceed to your muster station. They're located outside on deck 4.
The Livorno Coast Guard calls again. The captain declares distress. The Coast Guard officially calls for rescue operations. They contact Pietro Mille, the
Oh,
helicopter
God.
base commander, who then calls in every available pilot. As he rushes down to the helicopter base, Pilon shuts down the emergency generator for the final time. The first rescue vessel arrives. By this point, the lifeboats are already going. Luckily, the ship is very close to shore. Oh, perhaps too close.
Too
The
close,
ship
man.
forcefully runs
Fuck.
aground. creating an uneven center of gravity. And it begins heavily listing Salvage.
Jesus!
The captain issues a general emergency on board. The announcement to abandon ship is finally called and alarms ring out. And with that comes panic. And now that they're listing, with many of the lifeboats too awkwardly positioned into the water, there aren't enough readily available, and they have to start going back and forth to the shore, picking people up and dropping them off. The patrol boats report to the Livorno harbour master that the ship has run aground and is listing heavily. So the harbour master asks the captain about it, and the captain says, no, the ship is still floating. In fact, we're trying to maneuver it onto the shore. They know he's lying. Hold on, I'm reversing it. Beep, 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 beep. The captain says to bottom out the starboard anchor. So they drop out the anchors, but let out too much chain, effectively rendering them useless. The deputy mayor of Giglio, Mario Pellegrini, and tobacco shop owner Giovanni Rossi arrive at the harbour. They watch the scene unfold. As the first of the lifeboats arrive on shore, the deputy mayor takes the initiative and races to board one of the lifeboats, returning to the ship, and starts trying to find someone in charge.
What the fuck?
And starts helping passengers. Scatino tells everyone to leave and take radios, but not before changing out of his uniform and into a nice suit. Priorities.
Okay.
Dimitri Christidis and Silvio Coronica leave with him. The maitre d' and Sir Morton both get out of there. By this point, approximately 300 people are still on the ship.
Jesus.
The helicopter base. The first helicopter, a slow-moving Augusta Bell, was already rising from the tarmac for the hour-long flight south. Bozio is the last crew member left on the bridge, coordinating evacuation. He then leaves to help passengers board lifeboats. The bridge is now abandoned. And then, the ship's black box stops working. Apparently there were technical problems with it. That means, from here, things are going to get a little foggy in detail. A while later, rescue helicopters arrive, but they're struggling to find the ship because they're expecting it to still be well above water. Passengers are scaling down the port side by ladder as lifeboats return to pick them up.
This is no joke.
No joke.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
It was no joke, mi amor.
You guys wasted your money. Oh, hey.
Yes.
He's not allowed to make a film movie.
I'm allowed.
Film movie.
A second helicopter, a faster model, sets off. The ship stops healing and comes to a final resting place. Now the Coast Guard calls the captain because he's just learned that the captain has abandoned ship. The captain claims,
Jesus.
no, actually I slipped and I fell into one of the lifeboats. But now that I'm on board, I may as well head back to shore. DeFalco tells the captain to get the fuck back on board. And the captain confused and then effectively refuses. So the captain makes it to shore. From here, we only have mainstream news reports to rely on, so it's not going to be super accurate.
Okay.
But they say that Giglio's police chief then finds 110 survivors on the rocks at Point Gabbianaro.
Jesus.
And among them is the captain. It's not known whether the captain helped anyone while he was there, and in fact, the police chief claimed that he just sat on the rocks and watched other people do the rescuing.
Wow.
A while later, a rescue boat picks up the captain and takes him to the harbour. He speaks to the police. He then finds the ship's onboard chaplain, Father Rafael Molina, and cries to him for about 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
He goes to the harbour master's office to receive probably the biggest dressing down of his entire life. Port authorities ask the taxi driver to take the captain back to his hotel. The captain takes the 30-second cab ride to the Bahamas.
Nice Halo music.
According to the cabbie, he was beaten like a dog. He was cold and afraid. He only asked me where he could buy a pair of fresh socks. But then he perked right up again and gave an interview to a news crew. He told them that he was the last to leave.
The captain is usually the last to abandon ship. What happened, Captain?
Yeah, man.
We were the last to leave the ship.
All day Saturday, rescuers search for people
Wow.
on the ship. On Sunday morning, a South Korean couple is found in their cabin, safe but shivering. They had slept through the crash and woke up unable to exit their cabin.
Oh.
The last survivor, Manrico Giampandroni, was found with a broken leg. He was the cabin service director.
God damn.
In the end, 32 people died. The final body wasn't discovered until nearly 3 years later. A crew member, Russell Rebello, and it's believed that he died a hero helping passengers off the ship.
Jesus Christ,
the Costa
man.
Concordia was the largest cruise ship disaster since the Titanic. And then there's the ship. This is what happens to a 110,000-ton cruise liner when it's left half rolled over in the ocean.
Pretty cool for a photo shoot, not gonna lie. God damn. Not gonna lie, I'd go there for a photo shoot. I'd do it. Oh. Wow. Again, nice Halo music. Jesus.
But this isn't the end. It's just the halfway point.
Just the halfway
What most
point.
people know is that the Costa Concordia had crashed, many dead, and then
Yep.
the captain abandoned ship like a coward.
Yep.
But there's a whole veritable spaghetti of details to untangle.
Hmm.
Let's dive in.
Oh. What are you doing?
They are. The deets.
Ew. Oh! Looting! Okay. I like the looting.
Loot box time. The Costa
Ooh.
Concordia was more than just a floating resort. There's a mall. A casino. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Ooh.
This iron chest was full of safes and cash registers and expensive fittings.
Oh.
And there were plenty of gamers prepared to sneak by authorities and try their luck in the hot zone. Within days, police divers reported that valuable items, once seen lying around the ship, were now missing.
Yep.
High-end liquor, expensive furniture,
Yep.
dining sets, cash from the casino, cash registers, jewelry and display cabinets, safes, Japanese woodblock prints by famous 18th century artists,
Ooh.
as well as the iconic bell, which hung from the bridge of the ship. It was never found.
Wow.
Who steals a big fuck off?
Yeah, who-
Even
who?
the server admins were getting involved. 4 divers who were part of the company contracted to refloat the Concordia were spotted on CCTV, sneaking out to the ship.
Cool.
A patrol boat was dispatched, and the men were caught inside the fancy suites with rucksacks full of stolen goods. The 4 men are charged
Aww.
with stealing and thieving and pinching. Later on, stolen as well as legitimate items found their way to Amazon and eBay. Chips from the
Dope.
casino, postcards, and cabin access cards became highly sought after souvenirs.
Very nice.
Watermark. Some Australian guy even made a listing for the ship itself,
Oh.
advertising it as buyer to collect. And although there were plenty of bidders, eBay pulled the plug.
Aww. The relationship.
I know you want to see Scatino go to jail, and we'll
Yes.
get to that. But first, we have to talk about someone else.
Yes.
Dominika
Mm.
Samorton.
That was a close one.
There was speculation that she was on the bridge that evening because
Yes.
she was the captain's mistress.
Ooh. Yum.
Intense media speculation reports that her presence distracted the captain.
They both denied their love for years and maintained that they were just friends. Although she did later admit to the media that she
Ooh.
found him handsome. And how could you not?
You so fucking precious when you smile.
Oh
She
god.
says there was no romantic link between them.
She's pretty hot though.
Would like to believe, they want to know I have something with him. It's more interesting. It's like, you know, some spicy in the story.
Spicy.
Samorton also loved the spotlight, however,
Everyone, oh no!
and took several interviews.
Cool.
But as the pressure mounted upon her,
Yeah.
she began making ominous threats to Scatino,
Oh.
saying he must confess, and that you have but 1 week to come clean.
That he
Things
got
can get
face.
weird.
Spicy.
Samorton
Spicy.
is a bit of a wild card.
Hell yeah.
In a subsequent interview, she claimed a helicopter came to the ship well before the other rescue craft to take away a package. Huh? And what was that package?
What was it?
Drugs.
Nice.
So rumors began that the ship was running narcotics for the mafia.
Nice!
And not without cause. A number of cruise ships, even recently, have been caught trafficking drugs.
Fucking nice!
Scatino was tested for drugs immediately after the crash. He tested negative for drugs in his system,
Cool.
but trace amounts of cocaine were found in a hair sample.
Makes
Oh.
it smoother and less dry.
Nonetheless,
Oh,
the
that
Concordia
fucking
was
guy.
searched and no drugs were reportedly ever found. How did we get here? Oh right, a helicopter. Sir Morton commented on it again the next day and said, actually, that helicopter was just for the captain as a means of evacuation from the ship.
Oh.
Okay, wait. So she expected to get some sort of first-class rescue while everyone else was still stuck on the ship?
Hell yeah!
Wait, how did we get here? Oh, right, sex with the captain.
Nice.
Divers were quick to head to the captain's cabin, where they found Miss Sir Morton's lingerie
Ooh.
and other articles of clothing, as well as a makeup bag.
Ooh.
The jig was up, but they continued denying it. Sir Morton mostly faded from international attention until she was told to appear before the court to present witness testimony.
Okay.
The judge pressed her to be truthful about their relationship, or she would be held in contempt.
Either tell me the truth or shut up.
So finally, she admitted it.
Yes, I had a sentimental relationship with the captain.
Okay.
But now, stop asking about my private life.
She was indeed the captain's lover.
Cool.
What is up, Trouble Alert Nation? Satino
Nice.
cheated on his wife with Seymour Tan. Oh my god!
She and Scatino had been having
Of
an
course.
affair for several weeks. She also said that on the night she boarded, she didn't have a ticket and didn't need to pay because nobody questions you when you're the captain's lover. Naturally, she gave another confusing interview after leaving court.
I
Okay.
want to say that today is the second time I died because the first time I died the night of the crash.
Okay.
Psychological brain. And
Okay.
problems. And today I died the second time.
The second time?
Because, of course, people find out something that I try to hide.
Okay.
Subsequent to the trial, she used her fame in Moldova to become a political activist,
Oh,
often
cool.
appearing on television and radio and in articles covering protests, accompanied
Alright.
by pictures of her being arrested by police.
I see back crack, back crack, back crack. Generally white knighting. Oh, dope.
It was some stuff about victims of violence, women's rights,
Alright.
yada yada yada. And interestingly, part of a push to block the sale of shares of Moldova's train network to Russia.
Oh.
Other than that, I don't really know what she's been up to. Let me just check on her Oh god,
Oh.
not again.
Oh, he did. Lawsuits.
Several civil suits were quickly lodged against Costa Crociere, and their parent company, Carnival Cruises, immediately saw a share drop of 23%.
Oh boy.
Passengers
Don't
sought
beat.
compensation for their damaged mental health, lost belongings, and loved ones.
Either they allowed him to divert from his course, or they didn't know where their billion-dollar ship was.
Within a few days, facing financial and media pressure, the CEO attempted to join the bandwagon against the captain and the crew.
That was not the ordinary route that
Mhm.
the ship was taking at the time, and was not only taking, but the time the ship was.
Claiming that the ship was not approved to deviate from the route. But that wasn't true. Approval isn't required if the ship is deviating by less than 15 miles, or that it was against company rules. Also untrue, because investigators found that they didn't have any rules about deviating route, and they tacitly encouraged sail by salutes. Now, in response to the civil suits, Costa Crociere offered passengers 11,000 euros each as compensation.
Cool.
That's kind of small.
11,000 euros, about $14,000, is the minimum compensation under international law when a ship is abandoned.
This was to reimburse them for their tickets, as well as any costs they accrued in having to unexpectedly travel home early.
True.
And that was supposed to release them from everything and anything that has to do with this accident. I cannot ask for more than this.
A lot of passengers, understandably, were not too happy with this deal, and they refused to take the money.
We think the offer is an insult for what these poor passengers went through.
Yep.
We think that the compensation being offered is not commensurate. Compensation being offered is not commensurate.
Later, Costa Crociere would lodge a plea deal with the Tuscany court to pay a €1 million fine to avoid a criminal trial. The judge agrees. Costa Crociere is now off the hook for all criminal liability for the whole thing. They washed their hands of the incident and flecked the residual droplets of responsibility onto the faces of 6 staff members.
6!
Passengers and relatives of the dead are livid that the company has been able to avoid criminal responsibility.
Offered is not commensurate.
Civil suits against the company continue. By the way, the residents of the island of Giglio also banded together and sought damages.
Dope.
They didn't get much. Eventually, passengers who refused the initial compensation of $11,000 joined civil parties against Scatino in his trial in 2015. They were awarded €30,000 each. Other cases, especially those involving lost relatives, are settled for undisclosed amounts.
I see. Scams!
New York attorney Peter Renee traveled to Budapest to represent 6 real survivors of the disaster.
At Renee, we personally work on every case.
And we'll work harder than anyone to get you the most money possible in the shortest amount of time.
And while on the job, a 7th case cropped up via email.
Right.
An elderly woman, Alona, said,
"Help me, Mr. Ronai, for I have lost my daughter, Eva, and my 5-year-old granddaughter, Roxana."
Aww.
So Mr. Renai agreed to speak with her. However, there were some inconsistencies in her story.
Oh.
Neither Eva nor Roxana were on the passenger list. Odd, but Costa is known for having stowaways. Still, Mr. Renai was suspicious.
Okay.
They wouldn't cheaty old Petey, would they? Renai inquired further about why she was on board, especially without a ticket. Ilona said,
"Well, I don't know, but you should ask her boyfriend.
Zolt Hall.
Oh.
He'll know all the details."
"I'm up all night. I'm going crazy," he said. But Mr. Renai was still suspicious. Because then she asked, "How much money do you think this is worth?"
Yeah.
This is a huge red flag, Petey. In 20 years of doing this, you've never had anyone ask about money. Why now? So Mr. Renai hired an investigator and sent photos around of the missing girl. The next day, the phone rang. Oh, hoi hoi. It was the boyfriend again. Look, there's been a bit of a misunderstanding and the child isn't missing at all.
Oh.
Huh. And then he claimed he was confused because he had done too many drugs the night before.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, can I speak to the daughter then? At first, he was refused. So Renai said that he'd have to file a missing persons report to the police if he couldn't. The boyfriend relented. That night, Renai met with Zolt and brought the police with him. He speaks to the granddaughter and asks her if she's seen Mum. "Yeah, I saw her today." "Oh, really?"
Oh.
"Yeah, we went to the park today and we went on the swings." Oh no, the jig was up. So the mum walks into the room sheepishly. "It's a miracle!" And the story changed again. "Okay, I'm not dead, but I did injure my leg when I jumped from the ship. And then I immediately flew back to Budapest."
Oh.
Although don't worry about checking my leg because there are no visible marks or injuries. Oh, Petey, I'm beginning to think they weren't even on the boat.
Jesus.
Also, turns out this lady isn't her mum, it's just a neighbor.
Of course.
Eventually, Renee managed to make the pair confess. And then they said, "Hey, we haven't done anything wrong. We haven't taken any money." And in the end, it looks like there'll be no criminal punishment for the scam. Because Hungary, a former communist country, has no laws against insurance fraud on the books.
Really?
The law firm that never sleeps, call 1-800-664.
Please, no sue.
Oh, that's a bad idea. That's a very bad idea.
Oh! But it keeps sinking and sinking.
Could you teach me some Italian?
Oh, of course. Get back on board, for fuck's sake.
Okay, thanks.
Gregorio De Felco, the naval officer who shouted at Scatino to "Vada a bordo caso," became a bit of a national hero overnight in Italy. He, like the rest of the world, expected Scatino to go down with the ship.
Yeah, man.
And when the captain chickened out, De Felco was there to admonish him. And when he stopped answering the radio, he called him on his cell phone to continue putting him on blast.
Oh.
When the captain first reported just a blackout, DeFalco didn't believe the story and immediately began preparing a rescue effort, which likely saved several lives. His actions were applauded by most Italians who were tired of their public servants being corrupt and avoiding responsibility. Accordingly, shirts sporting Vada a bordo caso were being printed by the end of the week, others setting it as their phone's ringtone. But then, in September 2014, without warning, DeFalco was transferred to an admin role in the Coast Guard.
Oh.
Hear what I said? You've been demoted.
DeFalco said that he had been passed up for promotion, that he had also not been told which admin office he was even being transferred to, and that it all effectively cancelled 10 years of his career. DeFalco was Tres Furioso, and there was public speculation that it was owing to bad blood between himself and Admiral Delano, his former boss. His status among the public overshadowed his superior in many ways. On the other hand, his boss said, no, it's part of a normal career progression for naval officers and that he must show more maturity and professionalism to advance his career. Now, it's hard to know what's true in office politics, so let's leave that alone. And anyway, in 2018, DeFalco said Buenas noches, ya later, to the Italian Navy to become a politician. In March that year, he was elected to the Italian Senate, serving as a member for Livorno. He still serves there today.
I am the captain now. Good on him. Get fucked. Jail time.
The day after the disaster, Scatino was taken into custody by police and underwent questioning. However, it was clear that this would not be a straightforward investigation. So the judge released him under house arrest at his home in Sorrento, a town in Napoli. By July of that year, the house arrest was relaxed and he was allowed within this general area.
Okay.
While under house arrest, he wrote a book with this journalist from Rai magazine. I have no idea what it says, I don't speak Italian. But goddammit, he must have some kind of charisma going on, because there's been a lot of speculation in the press that he had an affair with her as well. Hold on, I got it. Not content with abandoning his ship, this dude is determined to abandon his wife as well. So, Scatino and 5 others are facing criminal charges. Straight away, everyone lodges a plea bargain with the court. And all of those plea bargains are accepted, except for Scatino's. And the condition of everyone's reduced sentences are that they must provide witness testimony against Scatino.
Okay.
Ciro, Jacob, and Silvia were all given suspended sentences. Roberto and Manrico are able to opt for community service or house arrest. Not a bad deal.
A good deal. Good deal.
And that meant that Scatino was now all on his own.
Alright.
Ciro, the first officer, was the first to give his testimony. On the witness stand, he claimed that Scatino was distracted by his mistress and other guests on the bridge. That there was confusion over who was in command. Then it was Jacob's turn. And he said, Lamau XD, because he didn't actually bother with his testimony or his reduced sentence. He just fled the country. It took authorities 12 months to eventually track him down on the outskirts of Jakarta. And when they said, oi, we still want that witness testimony, he just scalped it again.
Jeez!
And he hasn't been found since.
Wow!
After that, Ferrarini gave his testimony, then look, we don't have time to relitigate the whole trial, so let's just go straight to the verdict. Guilty!
Guilty.
Scatino was found guilty of multiple manslaughter, causing a shipwreck, abandoning ship, and lying to authorities. He is sentenced to 16 years and 1 month in prison.
Oh, I see.
But wait, there's still the appeals. The appeals trial begins. And the verdict on the appeal? Surprise! Rejected!
Oh.
So Scatino's lawyers appealed again. And the verdict on the final appeal?
Scatino made multiple attempts to secure a plea deal, but was denied by the prosecution each time. The prosecution called for Scatino to be sentenced to 26 years in prison, calling the incident a Titanic affair.
Okay.
Scatino was not present. His lawyers stated that he was waiting outside of the jail for the ruling, so that if his plea was rejected, he could immediately start serving his sentence.
Okay.
And with that, 5 years and 4 months after the disaster, he was finally in a cell.
I see.
But I will not be making any comment.
We floating? What?
The salvage operation was enormous. It took over 2 years and cost an estimated $1.2 billion.
Oh.
Beginning in early 2012, they first spent 2 months pumping fuel from the ship's tanks. At the same time, they had to pump seawater in so that the balance wasn't affected and the ship didn't slide around.
Oh.
In early 2013, a platform was built under the ship to prevent it from falling further.
Sweet.
Sponsons were then attached to the sides of the ship, and cables attached to the underwater platform.
Sweet.
The sponsons were then dragged underwater and opened up to allow the ocean to fill them. The ship could then roll over properly. By late 2013, the ship was upright once more.
Ah, fantastic.
The sponsons were then attached to the side of the ship to help keep it balanced. It now rested partially above water and crews could walk around safely.
Nice.
By July 2014, the water was removed from the sponsons and compressed air was pumped in to lift the ship. And she was ready to cruise again.
Sweet.
This time to a port in Genoa. It was a 4-day towing journey to the docks where a 2-year process of dismantling and recycling would begin.
Oh yeah.
That same weekend of the towing, Scatino was busy. He was the guest of honor at a white party on an island in the Bay of Naples.
Cool.
He appeared on the front page of a local newspaper, flanked by 2 of Italy's most eligible bachelorettes.
Cool. Damn, alright.
Anyway, so these are the things that I remember from the Costa Concordia.
But at least the Concordia floats
That
again,
sweet
sort of.
Maiden of the sea.
Yeah,
And
what
as for
happened to
you,
that
little
bell?
fella,
I mean, does anyone know where the bell is now?
Well, it's time to return you.
Oh.
You came.
Internet historian was holding it for the whole time. I like how I made the sound.
6 quick things. 1. NordVPN, good product, check him
Nice.
out. Number 2, there's a new video on the second channel. You probably didn't see it because it was temporarily restricted. Now it's not. Enjoy.
Yay.
3, if you've never seen the second channel before, give it a go. It's a different type of content, but we put a lot of production into it.
Oh yeah.
It's not just offcuts. 4, there are a couple secret channels as well, but I ain't telling you where they are.
Oh.
5, no more 45-minute videos on the main channel. Back to 10 to 15 minutes and more of them. 6, there's a Q&A coming out next week on
Oh
Incognito
yes,
mode.
Q&A.
A ton of detail that we had to cut for the sake of brevity, and will no doubt feature a ton of corrections as well.
Cool.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Spicy! This video was very spicy. God damn. Fuck. Jesus, that was a lot of stories of the Concordia. My god. Let me know down in the comments below. What's your experience on the cruise ship? I've never been on a cruise ship, but sounds pretty fucking scary, not gonna lie. But goddamn, all the editing, all the fucking effort that Internet Historian has put into this video is fucking amazing. If you guys haven't already, please go and subscribe to Internet Historian and his second channel as well. I'll be putting down the original video in the link in the description below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching my my ridiculous reaction to the video. Yeah. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.